everyone, welcome back to The Chosen One by Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your support. Today I want to introduce you to my fiance, the lover of my life, the man that I fell in love with. So say hi.
How you doing? Hello, everybody.
Okay, so
Would you like to tell them, start off by telling them exactly how this relates to what you talk about and how this relates to Christianity and how Christianity brought us together? I'm sure they want to hear the story and what I'm doing here and how I got here. So I'll let you start off and then as you start off, I can start telling them a little bit.
okay, so I met him when I was 23 years old, and we was texting and everything on Facebook, social media, and I started liking his pictures. I started commenting on his stuff, and we started talking, texting, and then we met up and everything. You know, I met him, went to his mother's house, met his brother and sister, and we just started talking, getting to know each other. And after that, you know, a year went by. I was pregnant with my son, and then I had my son. I met him 2015, had my son 2016, and we split up after we had Andrew. And after we had Andrew, you know, a couple of years went by. I believe we went back together. We got back together. If I'm not mistaken, I think we went back together when I was like maybe, I don't know if it was
About 25.
25 years old. We went back together. And then we broke up again. And what happened after that?
Well, basically, to be honest with y'all, from the beginning, I didn't even think she was gonna want to deal with me because when I met her, when I first saw her profile, first off, it was talking about how she was into the church, Christianity, how she likes to go to church every Sunday. It was talking about how she was honest and faithful with God, and I just wasn't on that type of lifestyle because I was in the streets. I was a whole different person than she was, so I didn't even think that we would match. So when we first started talking, I was just being a regular person. She was liking pictures, as she said, commenting on stuff. You know, I was just being nice. That was just typical type of person I was back then. But as time went along, she started, you know, commenting on my stuff as well, and she was like hopping in my inbox asking how my day was going, and I was going through a lot at that time. Now a lot of people cared to ask me how I was doing, so that brought us closer, and we developed a friendship, talked a little bit more, and as time went along, a couple months went by, we decided to give each other a chance in a relationship. So we took it slow, fell in love. I was out of town at the time, came back, and we saw each other in person. We started going on dates, and a year later, she was pregnant with our son, as she said, just like she said. And afterwards, we separated because it was like a lot of differences. We were young back then. We had allowed our families to interfere with what was going on because her family didn't like the fact that she was pregnant, you know, because she comes from a Christian-like family, and it was kind of hard on mine as well because my family wasn't in agreement with her family, so it just was a lot of pressure on both of us. We wanted to stay together, but it just became a lot to handle because we were young. We didn't know how to handle all that pressure. And me personally, I was still into the streets. But we separated, but we remained co-parents though. We kept co-parenting throughout the years, and we tried to get back together again, but it still didn't work because I wasn't ready to commit my life to God or commit my life to the church, or I didn't have all myself in order, more so should I say, because I was still, you know, living wild and, you know, still chasing behind women and stuff. I wasn't really focused on the type of things I should have been focused on. But she kept praying for me. Her prayers definitely got me through a lot, and she still asked how I was doing, and just to see that she was so, worried, and just to see that she had my back, it drew me to her more and made me realize that I had somebody care about me. And I went through a lot. I had to go through surgeries and some more stuff. And during those times, she was by my side, always prayed for me, always called to check up on me, and that made me appreciate her even more. So I finally got myself together and said I was going to do things right. So here we are in 2023. We've been back together now. To be honest, we've been back together now for almost 3 months now, and we've been doing extremely well. We're doing way more better because throughout the years we have learned, different things happen. Like, she had another child, I had another child. When we were separated, being in different relationships gave us both time to grow and learn ourselves and become more mature, and that's good because it gave us a chance to know how to treat each other better, to make our relationship better. Like, God don't make no mistakes. When we were younger, we wasn't supposed to stay together because had we stayed together, it probably could have been worse for us because we didn't know how to love each other. We didn't know how to appreciate each other. I tried to let God into my life, but I didn't know how to do it at the time. I wasn't ready to grow mentally because I was still in a little boy mind frame, as far as how to carry myself and how to live my life. And now that I'm older, I've been able to open my eyes and more so be wise as a man, and I've been able to open my heart up to God and let God into my life. And as I did that, it made me appreciate life more, and it pulled me closer to her. So where do we go from there? Tell them where we went from there when I was in the hospital.
Yeah, he just had a heart surgery and lung surgery this year around February. It scared everybody. My son, he was scared. I was scared because I didn't know. But I had my faith in God. I kept praying. I went on a 10-day fast. I was praying for him. I cried out. And I was just saying, God, just don't let him die. And I just kept saying that. And I was crying. And I prayed. I fasted. I cried out. And I wrote in my journal and everything. And I asked God to just give me more strength. While he was in the hospital, I needed strength to pray and cry out. Even though he was in the hospital, I had to use my strength to cry out for him and fast for him. I had to be his strength, if anything were to happen. So I just cried, I prayed. I said, God, just don't take him away, just keep him here. Just give me, one more chance with him. And I wrote it down in my book. I said, God, if he can just call me at April the 15th, I wrote it down, April 15th, 2023, just give me one more chance. And he called me around, I believe you called me around, let me see, I think it was March. I think it was March 23rd, something like that. March.
We've been back together since March the 13th. I called you around March the 5th. It was around March the 5th.
It was 2 weeks before April the 15th. I know it was that.
Yeah, and to be honest, and when I first called, I gave her a hard time. I mean, to be honest, sometimes God makes things happen. When he makes things happen, and he does everything for a reason. Because when I reached out to her, I had no intentions on us falling back in love. I reached out to her just on the strength of me wanting to know how she was doing on a mental note, just because she always checked on me, and then me also reaching out to her to see how my son was doing. I just wanted to co-parent at the time, and I told her I wasn't looking for no relationships. I had pretty much had it up to here with relationships. I gave up on love, wasn't trying to look for it, wasn't even thinking about trying to even find it, but like, the more we talked, the more we prayed together, the more we opened our hearts up, the more we became unified, and we fell in love, and we've been developing a strong bond amongst each other since then, and things, like I said, things have been good, but we couldn't be where we at without the strength of God, without God helping to keep us connected, because anytime, we're not perfect. I know sitting on this couch, people might think like, wow, this story is so interesting, and They seem like so happy and stuff, but everything that glitter ain't gold, is it? You know what I'm saying? Everything, ice is solid until it has fire to it, right?
Yep, it's
like real
not.
talk. So it's like, we've had our ups and downs in the last couple months. I'm just being honest with y'all, but what keeps us together, what keeps our foundation solid amongst each other is we always keep God first. We always put him first. We pray, we talk to him, we ask him for answers, and we also allow him to guide us. We keep him in our hearts, and that keeps us unified, and it keeps us strong as well. I don't think without God that we could have, went too far or have gotten this far. So one thing I want y'all to understand is that it's always important to pray, it's always important to pray, especially when you're with your partner, when you're in a relationship, when you're in love with somebody. Always put God first and trust in him to keep things going and keep things going, pushing forward, because he will always guide you. He can never steer you wrong. Like I said, I've never been perfect. I wasn't perfect when I met her. I'm gonna take y'all back just a little bit. If you mind if I take them back?
Yeah.
This is our son. This is Andrew. This is our son. Andrew is about to be 7 years old this year. This is our little guy right here. Our blessing, But I want to take y'all back real quick, if y'all would allow me. So, as I said in the beginning, when I met her, I was in the streets. So, I was out here heavy, and I was out here doing whatever I could to get by. When we went, matter of fact, our relationship had such a strain on it because of who I was. When her parents met me, I was not no church boy. I wasn't in the choir. I wasn't trying to do any of that, and they didn't approve of our relationship. So they had asked her, she had to make a choice. It was either me or it was them, and she chose me, and took a chance on me, and she and when she did, we did well together. We did, but the problem was that caused us to divide apart was my lifestyle that I was living. Because I wasn't ready. Like, she wanted me to open my heart up to God, and I wasn't ready to do that. What you gotta understand is, if you get with a woman who puts God first, you have to sometimes be willing to accept a part of her if she is willing to accept a part of you. Because the relationship cannot work if you're not on the same page with each other. That's something that has to be understood. It will not work if y'all not on the same page. I don't care how close y'all, I don't care what y'all discuss, it will not work if y'all not on the same page. If you're with a woman who puts God first, that wants to go the right way about things, accept God into your life. You don't have to rush into accepting God in your life, but you do have to try to make some type of progress. You have to. That's the only way that you'll be able to make things work with the person that you love. Not only should you do that for the person that you love, but you should do it for yourself. To want better for yourself. You should want to open up your soul to God, because, to be honest, I wouldn't be standing right now if it wasn't for God. I done been through a lot. I've had a lot of things done. As I said, I've had multiple surgeries. I've been in the streets. I'm a whole living testimony. There's people with my condition that ain't made it past 3 years old. There's people with my condition that ain't made it past 13. There's people with my condition who ain't make it past 20. I'm here to tell you, I'm in my 30s, and I'm still here. And I wouldn't be here without God. The reason why I'm still here is because God has a purpose for me to serve. And in the end of the day, I will serve out my purpose. I will. When I was in the streets, I took her through a lot, and it was a lot on her. And this is why it's important to have a loving partner, because when I was going through all these things, she didn't judge me. She didn't look down on me. She didn't turn away from me. No. She prayed for me every time. When I left out that door, she prayed. When I came back in the middle of the morning, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning from hustling, she prayed for me. She hugged me. She called my phone when I was on the corner. I done had times where I was on the phone and she hit me, doing what I had to do. Certain things I can't discuss, because I might open up a case. But she been there before me through a lot when I was on the phone, and just know it's always good to have a praying woman in your corner. You can never go wrong with that. One thing that she had to learn was on her end that she couldn't rush me into becoming who she wanted me to be. She had to learn that she had to allow me to grow into becoming that person. And what we learned together is that we have to mold one another into what we want to be. It's called being submissive to your partner. See, us as men, we always try to be the dominant ones. But sometimes it's okay for us to submit to our woman. Partnerships are supposed to be 50-50. You have to work together. It's called compromise. Okay? Not only do you compromise with yourself, but you have to compromise with the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, no matter what I've been through, I always used to tell her, the main reason why I didn't go to church, and I know a lot of y'all who come from where I come from, a lot of y'all who are watching this, been in the streets just like I have, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all understand this. The reason why I wouldn't go to church, and a lot of reasons why I wouldn't commit myself to God, was because I thought that God would not accept me because of the way I was living. All the things that I was doing, I didn't think that He would forgive me for those things. But what you gotta learn how to understand is God is a forgiving God. He loves everybody. And He's here for you whenever you're ready to open up and accept Him as your Savior. But you have to do that when you're ready. You have to be willing to make that commitment and to put in the work so that you can become fully a part of the journey that He wants you to go on. Because everybody has a path. We all have a path to walk, and we all have choices. There's always a purpose for us. No matter what you're going through, it might seem like your pockets are flat right now. You dead broke. But it's for a reason. There's a plan behind that. But how would you know the plan if you don't ask God to guide you? I've been down bad so many times. So many times. When I stopped hustling, I ain't had no money. Guess what? God has blessed me and turned my life around. I'm no longer struggling like I used to. Things have changed. It's done a whole 360 for me. But would it have did that if I didn't allow God into my life? No. And that's me keeping it real. I'm a street dude. And I'm telling y'all this. This ain't me filling y'all head up. I'm trying to make it smoke and mirrors or trying to put on the front just to tell y'all, oh, go accept God just so that y'all can just do it. No, I'm keeping it a stack with y'all. I'm keeping it 1,000. I wouldn't lie to nobody, especially that come from where I'm from. Give God a chance and see how it works for you. He don't give you stuff when you want it. He gives you stuff when you need it. That's what people get to think. That's what people get this whole entire perspective about God confused. Everybody think that, oh, I'm not going to sit there and accept God into my life because how is God real, or how does God love me? I'm struggling. I've been praying for years for not to struggle. What you don't understand is you're struggling because He wants you to struggle. Because there's a bigger purpose behind that door. Right? You see it or not. It's a test to see if you can survive. God, I know y'all hear that saying, God don't give you more than you can handle. Look at my story and what I just told y'all in such little words. I didn't tell y'all the whole story. I told you a little bit about me. Y'all don't know nothing about me. This is about me and her relationship. This ain't got nothing to do with me. At the end of the day, God don't give you more than you can handle. Look at what I've been through. From the little bit y'all know about me, I'm still here. Imagine if I wasn't strong enough to handle that. You really think I'd still be here? No. But I am. You know why? Because I'm a soldier and God knows that. And everything that I went through, when I started accepting God into my life, I didn't get things right away. I didn't have things coming right away, or things wasn't happening for me right away. I wasn't getting the answers to my questions. I wasn't being blessed with certain things right away. But every time I was in a situation where I needed something the most, God fell through for me. And sometimes it wasn't even things that I prayed about. Sometimes it was just things that I needed in life, period. And I'm not talking about just saying materialistic stuff. I'm talking about things that I really needed. Love, trust, honesty, commitment. And I got that through her. I needed a way to have money. And I got that way. The positive way, not the negative way. I needed help through family. I had so much going on with family and friends. A lot of things. Didn't know how to handle that. God gave me the answer to solve those problems. Put God first. And when you with a Christian woman, accept her life. Accept what she comes with. Make it a part of your life. You don't have to do it right away. But do it on your time. But make some type of effort to make your partner comfortable. Y'all have to be comfortable or the relationship will not work. You understand? And I'm being honest with y'all. Trust the process. Now I'm speaking to all the real ones out there. All you street dudes. I'm not going to say the N-word because we on video here. I'm keeping it clean. But y'all know where I'm coming from. Real live. Put trust in the process. In the commitment. I'm telling y'all straight up. It works. It takes time, but it works. Got anything you want to say to them, boo?
Yep, it's true. I mean, like you said, we had to do a lot of praying. I had to listen to him. It was hard for me to listen to his lifestyle. I had to accept him for who he was.
You had to live through it too.
I had to, yep. I mean, we went through a lot. We went through a lot. I was 23, and now, we older now, but, we engaged. We get ready to get married soon. Mm-hmm. So we decided that we want to be together for the rest of our life. I mean, I love him. This is the man I want to be with, and we serious about this. We ready to make this serious commitment with the Lord. So it's time for us to just tie the knot and just do what we need to do to move forward. But I would say, if you're a street dude, always open yourself up to a Christian woman. I know it's maybe hard, difficult, but always listen to what she has to say so you can, know what you need to do. Mm-hmm. And as a Christian woman, always you gotta listen to each other lifestyle, because everybody come from different backgrounds. Everybody was raised different. Mm-hmm. And my lifestyle was different from his. And I was working out. I always kept money on me. Some days he didn't have no money and stuff, and I would put him down, talk nasty with him, and
that's when I was hustling.
Yep, mm-hmm. And I got mad because I didn't want him to go in the streets and stuff. But we serious. We got a son, and I got a daughter.
Cause when I was hustling, I always had money.
So we ready to step through right now.
And you know what I find crazy about all this? Though, babe?
Yeah.
It's funny because when I was hustling, see, what made me appreciate her and love her even more was when I was hustling, she didn't want me for my money.
Nope.
I can't tell you how many times I pulled out a big wad of money and offered to take her shopping. You remember that, babe?
Yeah.
The first time she ever came around me. How much money did I have, boo?
He had a lot, but like I said, I never asked him for nobody. With me, it wasn't about nobody. We really had love for each other. I cared so much about him. He cared
and that's
so
what
much
made me fall for her hard. The fact that she didn't want nothing from me. It was just genuineness. It was just genuineness. She could have been thirsty like any other girl. She could have sat there and said, "Hey, you want to take me shopping? I'm gonna go shopping. You want to do this, do that." She wasn't on none of that type of time. She just wanted me for me.
Yeah.
She just saw me for who I was. She didn't care about the money. She didn't care about the clothes. She didn't care about none of that. She could have had it her way if she wanted it, but she didn't care about that. And that's what made me care about her. But see, like she said, the thing about it was we thought we had it all figured out. So at the time, she didn't want me in the streets, right? So what I did was I said, okay, you don't want me in the streets, I'm gonna quit the streets. Right. Remember, we were young back then. So I did quit the streets. You know, I quit the streets and I let the streets go. You know, and when that happened, our relationship took a turn for the worse. And the reason why, now we're being honest here. Now. See, one thing you gotta respect about her as somebody that gives y'all the word every day, and as somebody that opens her heart up to y'all about God, one thing you have to respect about her is she's very honest. Very honest about how she pitched the word to y'all. She's very honest about her life and everything she talks about. And y'all should respect that. Because I respected her for the fact that she was always honest. That's just how I felt for her a long time ago and why I'm still with her today. When I stopped hustling, was not the woman that she is today. Yes, she was a Christian woman, but she had a lot of growing to do, okay? Like I told y'all, we were both young and didn't know how to handle each other. We both had a little kid mind frame back then, you see what I'm saying? We were young, we were wild, right? So when I stopped hustling, she was like, yeah, you know, good. You got out the streets. I'm happy, you know, you at home more, this, that, the third. But see, the problem was the money wasn't rolling in no more, okay? Remember, I stopped hustling. Now things have changed. See, when I was in the streets, I ain't have a plan. I ain't think about no 401k plan. I ain't think about no stacking money up, getting in stocks and bonds. I ain't think about, you know, stacking money up, putting away for a rainy day. I just used to spend like there's no tomorrow. Because my motto was always live fast and die young. Because that's what I saw in the streets. Everybody was getting killed. I had friends that I lost, left to right, family members. You know, I lost so many people I became numb to. So many funerals that I can't even keep count. You see what I'm saying? So at one point, I knew it was going to be me too. So I didn't think about tomorrow. So when I left the streets and left them alone, I didn't have no money stacked up. So when the money ran out, you know, then she had to take on the role of helping to take care of me. Now, this is when I tried to do things the right way. I was trying to get a job, but I didn't know nothing about job applications. I had to go through a whole learning process about all this stuff. And when I was going through this whole process, she was helping me out with maybe if I needed clothes, if I needed something to eat, this, that, the third. But she started to feel like she was carrying too much weight on her back because she wasn't used to doing that for no man. So it got to a point where she was just like, you know, I can't take it. Like, I'm getting tired of taking care of you, you know, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I was putting stress on our relationship because we done went from loving each other to not getting along. We done went from talking about God and accepting God into our lives to losing focus of the whole point of what kept us together in the first place, even when I was in the streets. This is why it's important to put God first.
Yes.
Because if you're not praying, you're not talking to Him and opening up your mind and your hearts, y'all lose track of how to stay of the whole entire reason why you're together. You lose track of the bond. You lose track of the understanding. You lose track of everything because God is the one who has the power to keep y'all together. Rather y'all understand that and accept it, or rather you don't. But I'm telling y'all, as a real dude, it's true. Because I'm telling y'all, without God, we wouldn't have worked.
Nope.
We wouldn't have. Even right now, to this day, I told you, we have our ups and downs, but we would not be together if it wasn't for God. But guess what? Even through all that, eventually at some point in time, she changed. But by the time she changed, the problem was, I didn't see the change. By then it was too late, because I was fed up. So I'm saying, so at that time, I left. And that's when we separated and went on our own paths. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, things happened then, but we done grew up and came back together. You know what I'm saying? So she was praying all these years for me. And you know what you gotta respect about her, like I said, she's an honest, strong woman. Because usually when a person leaves, y'all just co-parent, right? The person don't still love you anymore.
No.
It takes a lot for a woman to say, even after a couple years, I still love you, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, I still want to be with you. This woman still wanted to be with me. I didn't want to be with her. I was out here chasing women, doing this, boo-wah. We're talking about 5 years later. It took us 5 years to get back together. Remember, we known each other for 7. Our son is getting ready to be 7. No matter of fact, we known each other for almost 8. It's about to be 8.
Yeah.
Our son about to be 7. So we're almost on 8 years. We've been separated for almost 5 out of 8. Going on 6. We were separated for about 5.5. Let's we roll with 5.5, right? About 5.5 years, right? 5.5 years, this woman kept calling me, kept telling me that she loved me, kept telling me she missed me. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't too fond of that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just like, oh, you know how real dudes are, man. We ain't trying to hear all that, man. We can smell through the, you know what I'm saying? We can smell through all that. I'm like, on my, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. Whatever. She on games, woo, filling my head up. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't see it. Because you know what? I didn't know what love was. Cause where I come from, you have to be protected at all times. You can't trust nobody. Even the ones who you closest to will break your heart. Family and everything. That's how the streets go. They destroy you. They deteriorate you. One piece at a time until you ain't got no soul left. You see what I'm saying? So I had a cold heart. So I couldn't see the fact that she changed. No matter how many times she tried to tell me I changed, I didn't want to hear it. It took me going through what I went through. I'm going to tell y'all one small thing, and I'm not going to get into detail about this. At least not right now until y'all know me better later on. You'll see me later. Maybe when we get married. You'll see me later. I guarantee y'all won't see me later, but I'm doing this one video this one time for her. And because I want real dudes who come from where I come from to hear from me. Because a lot of y'all, I'm pretty sure some of her followers come from the streets too. And I'd rather for y'all to hear from somebody that's been there and done that compared to hearing from her who ain't been in that lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? But I'm telling y'all, straight up, I went through an experience that opened my eyes up and made me realize this woman loves me. See what I'm saying? I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and I saw some things when I was there. And when I was there, one of the things that I saw, it was this little one situation where out of all the women I've known and dealt with, this the only one who's told me, I wasn't with you for your money. I was never with you because of your sex. I was never with you for none of that. I just wanted you for you, and you were too stupid to see it. And then guess what? When I came out that coma, even before then, I said, if I get to live through this, when I wake up, or if I ever come back, if I even get a chance to find my way back, I'm going to love this woman to the fullest. No matter what, because that's what God wants me to do. And when I came back, like I said in the beginning, I wasn't too fond of the idea of getting back with her. But I had love for her. I didn't ignore her. Cause see, for 5 years now, we was ignoring each other. I wasn't talking to her, she wasn't talking to me like that. We was co-parenting here and there with Andrew, but we wasn't really talking much. You know what I'm saying? So this time I allowed her into my life, slowly. I wasn't ignoring her because like I said, what I saw down there changed my whole perspective. So I finally opened myself up to her. And like I said, as you see, God brought us back together, slowly but surely. And ever since then, we've been locked in. We've had an amazing relationship. We have a strong relationship and a strong bond. I'm going to leave it at this. And I'm going to let her take it from here. For all the real dudes out there, I'm going to say this one last time. If you got a Christian woman, accept her. Accept her ways. Be willing to accept God in your life. You don't have to do it on her time, but make some type of effort to show her that you want to. Not just for her, but do it for yourself, man. Real life. Because it might change your whole mind frame. God can change your life in more ways than you think. You ain't gotta be perfect, Slim. You ain't gotta go to church every Sunday for him to help you out. You just gotta open your heart up to him and do it. And it'll all happen from there. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to come here and talk to y'all today, for allowing me into y'all life. I'm gonna let her take it from here. I'm gonna enjoy some time with my son. I thank y'all. Have a good night.
Hi y'all. So all I gotta say is I'm just thankful that he's in my life, and I'm ready for the next chapter, merge. Ain't that right, honey?
That's right, baby.
We're ready for the next level, which is merge, and just commit our ways to the Lord and let the Lord lead us to the path of righteousness. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm just thankful, I'm thankful that we making this big step. I'm a little nervous. I'm sure he's nervous too, merge, because merge is a big step, but I'm ready for it. Yep. And I'm ready to raise my children the correct way,
Yep.
Even though, I had babies young, but I'm ready to be a wife and just be under one roof with my husband and just do everything right. So I'm just thankful. I'm grateful to see what the Lord had for us. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm just happy. And,
Yeah.
and that's about it. So, I mean, um, it's, I'm not gonna lie, it give you butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he told me,
I'm sorry, y'all. My do not disturb is not working. I'm sorry.
he, yeah, he asked my father, and, you know, we was gonna get married when I was 23. That was true. We was gonna get married when I was 23, but I was very childish at 23. I didn't want to listen to him. I didn't want to listen to nobody. I was real nasty. I just had a nasty attitude, like, get out my face. I was slamming the door on my parents. I was being disobedient. And right now, we just we're just taking our time. We just letting the Lord lead us, and we just ready to just take the next step. We know what we want. We want to be with each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
And our family know each other, and our family, they already met and everything. But when we say merge, you know, everybody like merge. They know we're not playing now, because we growing up. You know, when you growing up, you know what you want and everything. So I'm just thankful. I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just ready. You ready?
I'm definitely ready.
You got something else to say?
You can't see myself without you.
Me neither. And we can talk. We talk all the time. You know, we talk on the phone. We pray. We also we like putting God in our relationship. You know, it's very important that you keep God in your relationship. When you keep God in your relationship, that's how your relationship work. You know, you just can't. People get it mixed up because they be like, "Oh, I'm in a relationship just for sex." A relationship is just not for all of that. It's just you gotta love that person, love the person. You know, understand them, work with them, understand where they need help at, and build them up, and just be there, help them. Don't throw them away. Don't give up on them. Help them to grow and be a better person. And love each other and ask God to help you both to wait on Him until you get married. So I just want to say be encouraged. Thank you for watching. This is our story. I hope that it bless you. Be encouraged and have a great, beautiful day. Bye.